day and I've been needing to make some new damp boxes. So I thought I would just show you how I do that. This will be the third time that I've done it. And these 2 boxes have lasted a little over a year. And I think I made them too thin last time, so they cracked more quickly than they probably should have. But we're gonna make them newer and thicker. So I need to remove the plaster from these, which it just pops right out. But as you can see, this corner was all broken up, and that was starting to mar my cups when I would put them in here. So I'm gonna take this out. I'll probably, just break that off and then keep this part for when I do reclaim. But for now, I just gotta set it aside. And then I'll just dump this out. And I'm gonna get a rag and clean these out so that there's not all this extra debris in here. Okay, there's one. I just got these totes from Lowe's, I think. And I like them because they have a taller lid, like there's extra space when you put the lid on, so I can fit taller mugs in them. And I think they were like $15, so totally doable. This one, I'm probably just gonna throw the whole thing away. It's got a lot of broken bits. And I mean, I've got this one section, but not worth it to me. Not worth keeping. Can I break it? There we go. Wipe her out. Okay, good enough. So I went and bought some plaster of Paris, which you can get in bags like this, or I just picked up 4 of these tubs. And I wouldn't recommend using this plaster for like molds because it's not as smooth as the Pottery plaster is, but for this purpose, it's great. It absorbs the water really well. Whenever you pour water over it, it kind of just seeps down into it. So it's great for this, but probably not so much for molds. Got too many things. Okay, I brought an empty bucket here, 5-gallon bucket. And then I have another bucket here that is just full of water. So plaster of Paris is just mixed 2 to 1. So I'll do 2 buckets of powder, and then I'll fill 1 bucket up with water and add that in here. I'm gonna do it in 2 batches because I don't want it so deep in the bucket that I can't get my hand in there to mix without getting it all over me. So I'm gonna put my gloves on. I don't have any tall gloves, so this is gonna have to do. But I'm gonna be mixing it with my hands to make sure there's no chunks in there. And normally you would do the water first so that whenever you pour the plaster in there, it doesn't like blow air, which I don't have a mask, so I'll probably just put my shirt over my nose, but all the buckets are full of plaster at the moment. So the second batch I'll be able to do that. And this sets up pretty quickly. I think it starts to harden in like 6 minutes, so you don't have much working time. And then it should be like completely done. And oh, that wasn't too bad. I forgot to cover my nose anyway. I didn't see any dust come up. So 2 of these, and then I'll fill 1 of them with water. And then I have 4 buckets I can use out here. Are y'all like me and you keep every container? Because I do keep every container. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna fill you up with some water. Too much water. About there. Okay. And then just mix, mix, mix. We want to make sure it's as smooth as we can get it. Okay, let's see what I'm doing. I hope this is enough for one bucket. I may need to do both. And I'm not sure if you didn't get enough the first time, if you could just add a new layer. We may try that if this is not enough. Like if one hardens. Trying to make sure all the clumps are gone. Probably should use my hand drill, but my husband has all the batteries. He's mowing today, so he's got all that. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. And my shop is so stinking hot. The air conditioner is doing 0 in here. So it's like 80 degrees already and it's still early. It gets up to 95 in the heat of the day. All right, dumping it in here, trying to get all of it. Okay, now, yeah, I probably should do another layer. You'll see what I'm doing. It might be thick enough, but again, this is going to be as thin as I had it last time, and I wished I had done it thicker. Alright, so I'm just going to like do lots of tapping to get all the air bubbles out. When this is set up, I'll go back and I'll clean up all the edges of this. Sometimes I'll even take it out and sand the edges so that those little fine pieces don't break off and get into my pottery. Okay, we're gonna set that one aside and we'll work on this one. Okay, we're gonna do the water first. That's not quite enough. Okay, there we go. Water. Getting it all over me. All right, we're mixing. Okay, I'm gonna finish this one and then I'll come back after, and when it's set up, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. These are fully set up now. So I'm gonna take one of them, and if I just start pushing down on it a little bit, it'll break away from the edges. And then going to, as gently as possible, hopefully without breaking it. So we'll have to clean up the plastic tote, but we're also I'm really trying not to break this thing. Okay, I've got a rasp here. I'm just gonna take down the edges a little bit so that they don't continue to like break off and get on your pieces. These are, I had a little bit of plaster left over in that bag, so I added that to this and it made it thicker, which is good. I needed these to be a little thicker than last time, so they feel really solid. It feels solid. Brush all that dust off. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside so I can clean the tote. These were set up after about 30 minutes, but I've been making things, so it's been a couple hours since I shot the first part. And somebody's coming. Now I can put this back in there. And now I've got a damp box. When I'm ready to use it, I'm gonna let it sit like it is for a little while. But when I'm ready to use it, I'll just dump some water in there, maybe like half a cup, sometimes even more than that, just depends on how hot it is in here. Right now it's 100 degrees outside, so I might add a little bit more water than normal because it's evaporating so fast, but then that will last. I can leave pieces in there for weeks. But that's it. I'm gonna work on this one, and that's how I make damp boxes.